Good afternoon, students. Students, can I have your complete and undivided attention, please? Today we have a guest speaker. I need you all to be on your best behavior. But before I bring them out, they did give me an intro to read. This guy you are about to witness is my #1 favorite comedian. He's funnier than a Jeff Dunham puppet and more inspirational than traveling to a beautiful country. He was just named Maxim magazine's Little Rottweiler of the Year, and he also wrote the movie The Hurt Locker. Please give it up for Dan Licata.
This is gonna hurt!
What's up? Morning, boys. How we doing today? Yo, I don't know what the deal with your principal is, but backstage I saw her watching a YouTube compilation of people getting life sentences, and she was laughing, so I don't know what that's about. But man, I'm so happy we're doing this thing in Buffalo. Yeah, give it up for Buffalo, everybody. Go Bills, all right? Man, this is gonna blow your guys' minds, but I actually used to be a student at this very school. Yeah. Until I was 21. And I transferred to Jesus Christ High School on Staten Island. It's a public school. Yeah, all because my dad got a job cleaning the breastfeeding pods at JFK Airport. I don't know if you knew this, you don't have to have a baby to hang out in those things. Sometimes they'll just go in there, drink 2 iced coffees, watch Paranormal Activity on a VR headset. And I wonder why I get anxious when I fly. Anyways, I'm so glad I get to come here and inspire you guys today. This is actually kind of a funny story. A few months back, I was hanging out with this guy. You might have heard of him. His name is David Lynch. Yeah. If you don't know who he is, he low-key invented being weird, okay? And I was hanging out with him. We were at a convention for guys whose initials are DL. So it was us, Don Lemon, Dalai Lama. It was a wild group of guys. And I said to him, hey, David, you filmed a bunch of weird-ass shit. Where should I film my first stand-up special? And I'll never forget what he said. He said, Buffalo. So let's do this! Man, sorry if I seem a little antsy. It's not because I'm nervous. I recently started doing this thing. It's like edging, but with piss. Basically, I took like 1/3 of a piss, wrapped a couple rubber bands around the head, started shotgunning Dasanis, and this shit fucking hurts, okay? My pee hole used to be hella small, but then I started putting one of those gauge earrings in there. Now when I take a piss, it sounds like this. You gotta chill. I already ran all this shit by the head of the PTA, okay? Now when I take a piss, it sounds like this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. Then I was just gonna end it with some Chuck Norris jokes. That be okay?
Can you give me an example?
Yeah, just off the top of my head. One time Chuck Norris had sex with a lion and made the lion come, but he didn't finish, so the lion turned around, give him a blowjob, basically just bit down on his erect cock as hard as it could, and that made him bust.
Yeah, okay.
Awesome. Anyways, I just celebrated my birthday the other day. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I had to do it to him. Yeah, my birthday was pretty epic. I started it out the same way I do every year. What I like to do is I like to take 4 Adderall and do an escape room by myself. Kind of start off with a win, you know what I mean? So my girl picked me up 7 minutes later, and she drives me home in her smart car. I walk into my apartment, right, and all of my family is there. And I'm thinking, fuck yeah, surprise party. We're gonna get turned, smoke a little bit of crack I got left over from Memorial Day or whatever. But then they all just sat there and stared at me. And then this Michael Chiklis-looking motherfucker I never seen in my life comes over, puts his hand on my shoulder and says, "Son, I just want you to listen." And that's when I realized, this isn't a surprise party, it's an intervention for me. Boo! Not for drugs though, my family's actually chill with that shit. Yeah, they're trying to get me to go to this special jerk-off rehab for troubled Italian-American boys. It's called Soprasada Wellness Retreat or some shit. They like train you to be asexual. Yeah, they think I'm addicted to beating off, and it's like, okay, I'm literally not. I could probably quit tomorrow and not even get the shakes, but okay, I'm lying, I am addicted, but I'm like the bus from Speed. If I slow down or stop, it's gonna be bad, hombre, okay? How addicted am I? Well, I do have a whole room in my apartment just for beating off. It's in the basement of my building. It's got red light bulbs and a blood pressure cuff I put around my neck. Make it feel like I'm getting choked on a submarine. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Now, this is your final warning. I'm gonna go get the gym teacher.
Look, lady, do you want me to change these kids' lives or not?
No.
Wrong. Anyway, there was one glaring omission at my intervention. My grandma was not able to make it. She's actually in the hospital right now. And yeah, I kind of feel like it's my fault a little bit. I took her to a Mama Roach concert. It's an all-female Papa Roach cover band, and you know, she wanted to try stage diving. She's 59, never stage dived before, so she gets up on the stage when they're playing Last Resort. She runs to the edge and dives off, but she dove the same way you dive into a pool, landed on her head, now she's paralyzed from the waist up. Yeah, so she can walk around, but the top's all loosey-goosey like this, you know? Yeah, it's actually Pearl Harbor sad. My grandparents are interesting as fuck, dude. My grandpa, he's actually the first guy to ever put a gorilla on top of a horse. He invented that shit. He was so pissed when Planet of the Apes came out. He was like, fuck that shit, I'm suing that movie. We're like, Grandpa, you can't sue a movie. He was like, I put a gorilla on top of a horse. I think I can sue a movie. And he's absolutely right. Man, me and my grandpa are low-key similar. He's had a lot of concussions. I've had over 400 concussions in my life, including my birth. It was supposed to be a water birth, but my mom forgot to fill the hot tub with water, so I smacked my fucking head. Had this huge dent in my skull as a baby, and my mom drilled a hole in the center of the dent and would smoke weed out of my head using my ears as a carb. So now all my dreams are nightmares. My neurologist told me I got the worst type of CTE you could have, which is Chicago style. And then, speaking of styles, you have got to stop fighting people giraffe style. I don't know if you guys have ever fought someone giraffe style. Basically, you and another dude just stand next to each other and just be like, which I for real do have to chill on that shit. My insurance only covers bug bites, so I really gotta stop. All right, pimps, thanks for joining me on this little walking tour today. Principal told me you three have the highest GPAs in school, so I'm gonna be imparting some wisdom on you guys. Make sure you go down the right path in life. Man, one time I asked a girl out right over there about those lockers. What do you guys want to do with your life? So you trying to graduate or what?
Yeah, I'm trying to get into a good college for either engineering or business.
That is not what I wanted to hear. Okay, what about you, dude?
I want to go into cybersecurity.
I don't even know what the fuck that is, but it sounds like something a smart person would do, and I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. Please tell me you want to do something cool with your life.
I like sports, so I'm planning to go to college for sports management.
Okay, I'm gonna have a lot of work to do today. This is more than I thought. I know a lot of people in your lives have probably given up on you. When you said, I want to go to college, I want to get a job, they've probably been like, yeah, good for you. I'm not gonna do that. Today's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna tell you some hard truths, but I'm not gonna give up. I promise. Yo, we should totally hotbox this shit. I'm going through a bit of money problems at the moment. I always get super stressed about money leading up to the holidays. And by holidays, I'm of course referring to Groundhog's Day. It's like, is this little beaver gonna see the shadow or is he not gonna see the shadow? I got $14,000 riding on this shit. My girl forces me to do high stakes gambling because she's saving up to get, I think it's called IDF. You know, we've been having trouble conceiving, probably because I got a vasectomy when I was 15. Don't tell her, all right? Nobody tell her. She wants to be pregnant, you know, and I told her, honey, you must be smoking them Hunter Biden pebbles because be a dad, I would literally rather be a POW. That was a direct quote from my vows. Yes, I did get married this past year. Thank you very much. Yeah. You know I had to do it to him. I did lose the ring at an indoor water park, though, so she is not going to be happy when she gets back from deployment, for real. Yeah, I was excited to get married, but I got to say, my girl was being a real bride, Godzilla, leading up to the ceremony. It was like everything I suggested, she shot it down right away. Like, I told her all the music at the reception has to be royalty-free because I'm filming it for my documentary. It's gonna be pretty cool. The gist of it is me and Perez Hilton are gonna try to join the Yakuza, so definitely stream that on Poopy. Then I told her, I was like, hey, I think I want my uncle to officiate the ceremony. My uncle, he's got one of those holes in his neck from smoking. Yeah. Sometimes he puts berries in the hole. I guess it feels interesting to him or something, but she was like, no, I want a rabbi to do it. I was like, a rabbi? I wanted this wedding to be fucking cool, man, come on! My girl's Jewish a little bit, and yeah, she's actually trying to get me to convert to Jewish, and I was just like, if you think I'm gonna let some awkward old man eat my foreskin, you better keep dreaming, toots. It's not happening, all right? I am uncircumcised, thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, no, I had to do it to him. No, but for real, I got uncut gems, and this is really embarrassing to admit, but growing up, my dad used to make me put a marble in my foreskin. That way, if I got a boner, a marble would roll down my pant leg. Then he'd beat the shit out of me for being horny, right? He'd be like, what is that, a marble on the floor? You watching the Howard Stern show on E again, you little shit? These are headshots, by the way. What else is in the news? Give it up if you had corned beef for lunch. Yeah. Wow. A majority of you, okay. Guess the cafeteria stepped its pussy up since I've been here, but man, I had corned beef for lunch too, not trying to brag. I popped by my homie's bar mitzvah before this, and they put this whole tray of corned beef down in front of me, and I wasn't even hungry, but if you put corned beef in front of me, expect me not to eat it, that's like putting porn on, expecting me not to beat off. I actually have been doing that recently, though. This is real. For like 20 minutes a day, I will just look at porn, not even take my pants off, and it has made me way better at skateboarding. I'm not kidding. Like, the other day I did like a 540 heel flip to nose grind to 180 tail grab to manual up a quarter pipe, did a misty flip down, reverted to nose manual, did a wall ride, wallied up to dark slide to 360 Christ air. And that was in Italy, so that was pretty cool. If you don't know what Italy is, it's an Italian marketplace owned by sexual pervert Mario Batali. Yo, he should have to change his name to Wario Batali after the crap he did. Am I right? Oh, God. Can you imagine how good it would be if Italians made corned beef? Are you kidding me, dude? Get some corned beef on some pizza the Aki way. Are you serious? Have you seen that guy's videos? Okay, if you haven't seen his videos, there's this guy, Aki, and if you go into his deli and order a fucked up food item, legally he has to make it for you. Just a little side note about the Aki way. If you go to a Michigan Star restaurant, they do not respect the Aki way there, okay? I went to the restaurant from Jiro Dreams of Sushi. I was just like, yo, make me some corned beef sushi, the Aki way. Cut to the Yakuza curb stomping my genitals so hard I got cauliflower dick, okay? Definitely not getting the joint now. And I am suing that movie too. I don't know. I kind of feel like corned beef is like the terrorists of beef. I guess I'll explain. You know, like when you hear the word beef, you don't think of corned beef, you think of like burgers and steaks. It's kind of like when you hear the word brave, you think of like soldiers and firefighters. But terrorists are technically brave, right? Like, I don't have the balls to do that shit. You kidding me? I get nervous at the airport even if I'm not planning on doing nothing psycho. My mom always gets arrested at the airport. Yeah, my mom. Here's a few not so fun facts about my mom. She's the person who told Rachel Dolezal she should do that, okay? Strike one. She's also got 10 pit bulls, all named Julian Assange, which makes it very difficult to discipline them. She also lost her sense of smell after getting chokeslammed on the Impractical Jokers cruise. So, you know, our whole apartment stinks like fucking fish, right? She cans her own tuna to save money, I think. I don't know. She grew up during the Depression, not the great one, but yeah, she like buys all this tuna in bulk from Russia, cans it in our bathtub. I'm going, Ma, if you're gonna can the tuna in the tub, could you at least crack a fucking window? And she's like, I don't want to do that because then neighborhood cats will get in, the Julians will freak out. I'm like, maybe they freak out because you give them an EpiPen every time they use the litter box. Also, having 10 tiger-sized dogs shitting in our living room, another great reason to crack a fucking window. I live in a 50-floor walk-up with my mom in a Polish neighborhood, believe it or not. And a few weeks ago, I decided to finally get the vaccine, finish my research, and I went to this Polish pharmacy to get it, right? And I get in there, and it turns out they didn't have Moderna, they didn't have Pfizer, all they had was Fluggy. Yeah, I'm going, I never heard of Fluggy in my fucking life, but they gave me the Fluggy, and I went home, I look it up online, come to find out it offers 0 protection against COVID. But it do make your fingernails grow faster though, which is actually pretty cool because I got this thing I like to do where I put a little bump of Coke in each one so everyone on my paintball squad could do one at the same time. Yeah, it's actually pretty inspiring to watch. It kind of looks like I'm giving them power. You know what I mean? I'm nuts. Yeah, I'm definitely the Bam Margera of my friend group. Right? It's like, Dan Licata, what will he do next? Whatever the fuck I want, right? Also going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment. The cafeteria. Man, they gentrified the fuck out of this place. Yo, I bet you guys start hella food fights in here. You guys start food fights ever?
Nah, not once. I've witnessed a little bit though.
What is wrong with you guys? You should be starting food fights every day of school. Although I will say, you see food fights in movies, everyone's laughing, they got a face full of mashed potatoes, ska music's playing, but IRL, a food fight usually turns into a fist fight in under 15 seconds.
Like this one time, I chucked some diced peaches at the JV basketball team, and basically they all took turns kicking me in the head, and I saw double for a year. But I didn't have to wear the glasses when I saw Avatar, so. Yo, I'm the type of guy where if a food fight breaks out, I'll just start shitting in my hands and chucking it. Sometimes you could take your shoe off and fill it with mashed potatoes and ground beef. If it hits them, it's kind of like a grenade, but a food grenade. Rock in some mashed potatoes and chuck that, and that could really do some damage. You ever see a teacher and you know it's their birthday, so you just really want to throw some ground beef at them?
No.
One time I pissed in some chocolate milk and I put it on my friend's chair and he sat in it. And at first he was like, oh man, I sat in some chocolate milk. I'm like, well, you're half right. You guys should all follow me on Instagram after this.
This is really embarrassing to admit, but I shit my pants at the gym the other day. Really embarrassing. I go to a special gym for troubled Italian-American boys. It's called the Gabagols Gym, and I'm there, I'm doing my workout. It's foot day, right? Focus on the foot. I want my foot to be as strong as a boot so I could snowboard barefoot. Anyways, I'm at the gym, I'm doing my workout, I'm kicking the fuck out of this treadmill. And then all of a sudden, the gym gets swatted. Yeah. You guys know what swatting is? Yeah. Couple fans, all right. If you don't know what it is, it's basically this epic prank where you say that there's a bomb or a hostage situation, then the SWAT team shows up. Anyways, the SWAT guys come flooding in the gym, and normally I got a really strong asshole, right? It's a muscle, I work hard on it. Fridays are asshole day, but I don't know if I just got startled because of all the hub, but I just started foaming at the ass, right? And I'm like, oh man, this sucks, but maybe no one will notice because of all the hub, but then this little pipsqueak, Gino Toroni, goes like this. He goes, hey, the gym's getting swatted, but his pants are getting shitted. Now, normally I am not a violent person, but I recently started taking anabolic steroids for anxiety, and I swear to God, I was about this close to stomping this boy out like a small fire, but then another one of the boys offered me $50 to take off my dirty drawers and put them on my head, which had to do it, right? Way I was raised, you get dared to do something, you gotta do it. Also, I'm unemployed right now, so I make 100% of my income from doing dares. That's how I pay the bills. I was hanging out with some of my boys at the Sunoco gas station a couple weeks back. And one of them dared me to do a gas stand, which is like a keg stand, except with the gas pump. Yeah, I don't think anybody thought I was gonna be able to drink that much gas. It was like $50 worth of diesel or some shit. Next thing I know, my throat starts burning like a s'more. I'm like, oh, fuck, I gotta go to the ER. So I go to the ER, the doctors are like, oh, fuck, we gotta get you a whole new throat, which is actually cool. My old throat was as big as a straw. They were like, don't worry, we'll get you one as big as a paper towel tube. You'll be able to gulp down gas station glizzies, don't even gotta chew. I was like, all right, when I was chugging crude oil earlier, I did not expect to get offered a throat glow up, but I'll take it. So they rushed me to surgery. And I wish I could say the surgery went off without a hitch, but that was not the case. I actually ended up slipping into a pretty bad coma there for a minute, and they didn't think I was ever gonna come out of it. And my mom and dad had to make the heart-wrenching decision to pull the plug on me. Yeah. But then they plugged me back in, and you know, like when your Wi-Fi not working, so you turn it off, turn it on again? I just sat right up, started beatboxing. They were like, he's back, and it was cool. But I was legally dead for 5 whole minutes, and I had this crazy out-of-body experience. You're not gonna believe this, but I actually went to heaven. Yup, that little boy was not lying. Heaven is for real, okay? It looked a lot different than I thought it would. It's mostly just CGI. Not even the good CGI, like the CGI from the General Insurance commercials. It sucks. But God looks exactly like how you all picture him, white guy with dreads. He just greeted me like, aloha, rude boy. I was like, oh shit, what's up, dude? Yo, can I use your computer? And God was like, yeah, I guess so. I just got a PC gaming rig. Is that okay? I was like, that'll do, pig. So he takes me to this room. It's got this giant computer monitor. And I'm like, don't worry about me. I'm only going to be like 20 minutes. And he was like, all right, take your time. So he leaves. And I log on to the internet in heaven. And I'm happy to report that on the internet in heaven, they got a website that will make a porn with your favorite movie characters. Yeah, it's super easy to use. You just type in the character and the name of the movie. So you just be like, Mystique, X-Men, Mystique, X-Men Days of Future Past, The Mom, Spy Kids, and bloop, come right up. You go to Pound Town right away, right? So I'm watching it, and I'm trying to be discreet. I don't even make a noise when I nut. I just make a Jim from Office face. So I'll just be like... So when I say J-O face, it stands for Jim from Office face, okay? So I'm watching it, I'm just like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, fuck yeah, man. Oh my God. All of a sudden, the door flies open. This guy hears his name, runs in, sees me gripping my joystick, and he just goes, come on, brethren. Now I gotta take your ass to jail. All of a sudden, these two huge bodyguards come out of nowhere, grab me, haul me off to the jail in heaven, and put me in a cell with 99 other men, right? Now, you would think that the guys in the heaven jail would be a little nicer, but they all started whispering to each other, pointing and laughing at me. Finally, I was like, okay, will someone tell me what's so goddamn funny? And one of them goes, yeah, I'll tell you what's so goddamn funny. You look like you were born 6 months premature because your mom was laughing too hard at Andrew Dice Clay routine. I was like, okay, I literally don't understand satire, so you're gonna have to try harder, dude. And he goes, well, do you understand toilet water? I was like, what? He takes my head, puts it in the toilet, hits flush, I get sucked down the pipes all the way to hell, and the next thing I know, I'm standing face to face with the devil himself. Now, my boys always freak out at this part of the story. They're huge Satan stans, so they're like, oh man, you got to meet him? What was he like? Big red, horn and hooves, septum piercing? I'm sorry to say that the devil is actually 19 years old and he's a huge fan of the Grand Budapest Hotel, so you do not want to get stuck in an elevator with that fucker, trust me. Yeah, unfortunately, the dares that I did not even come close to covering the cost of surgery, so I had to start selling fake IDs to underage kids. I would sell you guys some, but I had to stop because a lot of kids were getting caught. This might have something to do with it. This is actual size of the fake IDs I was selling. Something wrong with my uncle's printer, I think. Yeah, I'm actually on trial for this right now, and it's not looking too good because according to the courtroom stenographer, I used the expression creme de la creme 19 times during my testimony, so we'll see how this shakes out. I don't know. I'm still in high school. I'm just like you guys, right? It's like that famous quote. That's the thing about high school, man. I keep getting older, but I stay in the same grade. McConaughey. I think you guys will agree with me when I say that teachers are some of the evilest people to walk this earth. Am I right? Yeah. The way I see it, all teachers are cops. ATAC, right?
I'm not going to have you badmouth educators. I'm getting the gym teacher.
Okay, go ahead and get him. I don't give a shit. Just be careful. I heard he got a Matt Lauer button in his office. Oh, man. The only thing lower than teachers in my mind has got to be substitute teachers. They are like mall cops. I physically cannot respect them, right? You ever walk into the classroom and the substitute's there? They got their name on the blackboard. They're like, hey, I'm the sub. I'm like, okay, well, I'm the dom, and actually, I'll be sitting at the teacher desk today.
The old music hallway. You guys ever been in the school play or?
No.
Nope.
I have.
Oh shit. What play were you in, dude?
Mean Girls.
Okay. What'd you play? Lindsay Lohan? Anyway, they made me be in the school play one year as punishment. It was a musical about Vietnam. I played Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. You guys want to hear my opening line of the play?
No.
Okay, I'll do it. PTSD? I can't even get these fucking flashbacks in high def? It was a good play. Well written, you gotta give it that. And my teacher, Mr. P, he really took a big swing giving me such a large role. He's kind of the first teacher to ever really believe in me. And oh shit, that's him. Yo, Mr. P.
Fuck off, Licata.
I was also in that one, Alien vs. Predator.
Yo, give it up if you like dads better. Okay, now give it up if you like priests better. Those were the two choices, dads and priests. Yo, speaking of priests, this is a fun thing you could do if you're ever in a church. If I see a priest talking to one of his little altar boys, I'll just go over to him and be like, excuse me, this guy bothering you? It's 100% success rate on that. You really gotta try that, all right? I'm trying to get an internship at a church right now. Yo, if anyone in here has any leads on an internship, I am desperate at the moment. I just got let go from my last internship. I was interning down at the cum bank, and here's the thing about the cum bank a lot of people don't realize. They basically just funnel it all into one big jug. Right? I was the guy that shook the jug. That was my task. And I'm at my internship a few weeks back. I go to shake the jug, and wouldn't you know, I forgot to put the damn cap on the jug, right? So goes all over my boss right as he's walking in, all over him, all over his Microsoft Surface tablet, and I was just standing there like, yo, please do not let the kids at school find out about this. They already teased me for being alive during 9/11. You guys were all born after 9/11 happened, right? Yeah. Okay, well, here's all you gotta know. Basically, Osama bin Laden was like Voldemort and Thanos combined, okay? Just this evil villain, spooky as well, and he basically masterminded this whole terrorism, which I had never even heard that word until that day. I'll never forget. This tall kid runs into my homeroom. He goes, hey, 2 planes just hit the World Trade Center. But I thought he said World Train Center. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Trains and planes probably hate each other's fucking guts, right? But then my teacher turned on the TV and I was like, oh, fuck. Yo, this movie is badass. And she was like, no, this is not a movie. This is terrorism, and there are people in those buildings and planes. And I was like, oh, fuck. Well, if that's the case, then I'm willing to put my sex life on hold until whoever did this is dead. And that's what I did. I was 12 years old, but I took a vow of celibacy until OBL was dead. And it was not easy. I would wear an army uniform to school dances. Girls would try to grind on me. I'd go, honey, not till 0 Dark 30 happens. This was years before we had the term Volcel, by the way. Anyways, smash cut to almost a decade later, right? We all remember the day, May 2nd, 2011, 5/2. I don't know where you guys were. I was at Dave & Buster's knocking back Blue Moons. All of a sudden, I get a text from one of the guys on my esports team. He says, dude, congrats, Poppy. The curse you have put on yourself has been lifted. OBL is dead. And I didn't waste a second. I just ran over to the employee break room, kicked open the door. I was just like, yeah, how many of these fucking tickets do I need to get some snatch around here, huh? And there was only one employee in the break room. She was one of those cat girls, you know, like the fake cat ears, cat tail, Skrillex haircut. And she was like, sir, normally I would find this highly inappropriate, but because OBL's death got me all horned up, I will let you hit it raw for 600 tickets. But if you bust early, it will be an additional 500,000 tickets. And thank God I did not bust early, guys, because I am not good at arcade games. House always wins, right? This is actually a true fact. I've actually never busted early in my life. Thank you very much. Yeah, if anything, I'll post-mature ejaculate. So I'll just be at a Denny's 2 hours later, like, yeah, I'll have the moons over my... maybe a couple napkins too while you're at it.
I know I've probably already changed your lives significantly today, but I just got one more question for you guys. Have you ever had to deal with a bully?
No.
Nope. Okay, well, this might come as a shock to you, but I too have had to deal with bullying in my past. I used to wear a hard hat to school, doctor's orders, and kids would kind of tease me a little bit. They would come up to me, hand me blueprints, be like, hey, where's your tool belt? Get to the job site, shit like that. And one day I was in gym class, I was getting changed in the locker room, and I took off my hard hat and put it down on a bench. And these two meatheads swapped out my hard hat for a stingray. So I unknowingly picked this thing up and put it on my head. All of a sudden, the stinger goes in my ear and stung me on the brain. My vision just turned thermal like the Predator, and I just started barfing up bowling A's all over the lockers. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, so I ripped this thing off my head, spin around, and everyone was just standing there cackling at me, like a dozen jokers. And at first I was really embarrassed. My face got beet red, I thought I was about to cry. But then I said to myself, you know what? I'll give them something to really laugh about. So I ripped the fire extinguisher off the wall, started eating the foam. There was a power strip plugged into the wall. I just started pissing on it. Didn't even take my Prince Albert out. And as I stood there gagging, my chub charred like a chorizo, they all stopped laughing because they had to respect me for being psycho. And no one ever fucked with me again after that. Most of those guys are dead now, I think.
Hell yeah.
Have they taught you guys like who was president for 9/11 yet?
No.
No? Okay, well, he was a universally beloved man by the name of George Bush. And he did a lot of amazing things as president. Probably the coolest thing he did was this thing called No Child Left Behind, which is how I'm still able to be in high school today. And I think my favorite part of No Child Left Behind has got to be this part right here. It's chapter 19, verse 27, which says, from now on, at high school graduation ceremonies, after the valedictorian speech, the kid with the worst grades gets to give a speech too. And it's kind of my moment in the sun each year. I try to get booed off the stage in under a minute. But this year, I thought I would take the inspirational route. So if it's all right with you guys, would it be cool if I ran my baddest kid Torian speech by you real quick? Would that be all right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, just imagine I'm wearing a dunce cap with a tassel on it. Right? What's up, you bunch of barely legal sellouts? Congratulations on getting a piece of paper that means literally fucking nothing. JK, I'm not doing that this year. Now, I know my speeches usually have a real Woodstock 99 vibe, but this year, I decided to take a more inspirational Woodstock 69 approach. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. There's a 0% chance that this guy who was probably born out of an ass could ever inspire me. Well, I'm hoping that after you hear this 100% crazy but 100% true story, you'll change your tune. Now, when I was your guys' age, my favorite thing in the world was Jackass. Do you guys know what Jackass is? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, there wasn't a standing ovation when I mentioned Bam Margera earlier, so I'm gonna assume most of you haven't. All right, this goes against everything I believe in, but I'm gonna have to teach you guys about Jackass real quick. Let's go back in time to October of the year 2000, right? Years before YouTube, 9/11 still in pre-production, and I had just started middle school. And one night, I sneak into my parents' basement, turn on MTV to find a shocking, hilarious news show called Yeah. Man, this teaching shit is easy. It had lo-fi skate video aesthetics and featured a group of goofy, charismatic daredevils carrying out a mix of painful stunts and outrageous pranks with fearless leader Johnny Knoxville at the helm. A fusion of both the Big Brother and CKY video series, Jackass ran for 3 seasons, spawned 4 movies, not including the .5s or Bad Grandpa, had spin-offs like Viva La Bam and Wild Boys. Are you guys writing this shit down? There's gonna be a quiz after. I got a Scantron machine back there. Okay, who else thought Scantron was the city from The Office? Now, on my 15th birthday, my parents got me a video camera. And my first immediate thought was, well, time to start putting together the stunt reel.
I'm Dan Licata. Welcome to Jackass.
My friends would film me doing dumb shit like going down flights of stairs on a chair,
Are you okay?
diving on a moving treadmill.
All you need is a couple of stupid guys and something on wheels to have a good time. Ready? I am one of the craziest kids in the world, and I probably got the biggest balls in my school, so
Yo, these weak-ass stunts are not gonna get me a show on MTV2 anytime soon. I gotta up the stakes. So one day, it was the middle of summer, I went over to my buddy Nick's house. Now, Nick lived next door to a church, so I brought with me an umbrella and my video camera. And Nick was like, what's the umbrella and video camera for? I was like, I'll tell you what they're for. I'm gonna climb to the top of the church, open the umbrella, run and jump off, Mary Poppins style, and you're gonna film it. And Nick was like, okay, cool. I think my mom's making chicken fingers for dinner, so that's perfect. So I scaled this 2-story building, gave Nick the thumbs up to hit record, opened the normal average size umbrella, ran to the edge, and jumped. Now, in the 1 second it took for me to fall 20, 25 feet, all I could think was, I should not have did this. If I had the remote from click, I would hit rewind right about now. And I hit the ground, and I hear a sound that I can only describe as an oak tree going through a wood chipper. And I looked down at my legs, and they just looked like rubber, like 2 Burmese pythons. Blood was squirting out of the side. Turns out they were broke, and we actually have the footage here. Dave, would you mind rolling that clip real quick? Psych. I found out years later my mom made my dad destroy the tape Grizzly Man style. I am suing that movie now for giving her that dumbass idea. Yep. Recovery was no trip to GameStop. I was in cast for 16 weeks. Had to get around in a wheelchair. I had to shit in a commode, which if you don't know what a commode is, it's basically a toilet seat with a garbage can attached. Every time I had to take a shit, everyone would vacate my living room. I'd vacate my ass into a trash bag. My mom would take the trash bag, throw it in the trash. Not the ideal way to shit, but the thing about toilets that's so genius you don't even realize is the water does a lot to neutralize the smell. But with the commode, you get the full stink unrated version. Also, I used to have to piss into this. That was back when I pissed at normal speed. This used to take forever. Yeah. But I'd be lying if I said there weren't some cool parts to this too. Example, all the hottest girls in my school were coming over to my house to bring me freshly baked cookies and watch a DVD with me. You might have heard of some of them. Bella Herring, Michelle Palumbo, Elise Forkenhofer. So keep that in mind, dude. If you do something psycho enough, girls will come to your house, all right? But then the school year started back up and people got busy and stopped coming by. I missed the first 2 months of school, which sounds sick, but it actually sucked worse. And I spent a lot of time by myself. And even though I couldn't stand, I started writing jokes in a notebook with the goal of performing stand-up when I finally got back to school. Now, some of it was observational, like, hey, How come there's no cantaloupe juice? There was original characters like the Cholo with Ebola. Could not get away with that nowadays, trust me. But most of it was about how I fucked up the lower half of my body, reverse grandma style. And during those weeks, I just kept writing and relearning how to walk. And on my first day back at school, first period, my English teacher, in a rare instance of a teacher actually being pretty cool, let me have the floor for 5 minutes, and I did my first ever stand-up set for my classmates. You guys want to hear the first joke of my first ever stand-up set? Yeah. Okay. So I jumped off a Catholic church recently. You guys hear about this? Yeah, the police confiscated the videotape because apparently I was trespassing. I'm sorry, I thought it said in the Our Father, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Mic drop. Yup. Fucking crushed, dude. Even the Jewish students laughed. And after my legendary, masterful George Carlin level set, I opened it up to Q&A. And this girl in the front row raised her hand and was like, yeah, why did you do it? And I hadn't thought about it. So I took a second and I was like, honestly, you know I had to do it to him. I didn't have a choice, come on. So listen, guys, if you take anything from my assembly here today, I want it to be this. Don't do the stuff that I did, okay? Because I already did it and you'd be copying me, but you should definitely do similar stuff, but put your own spin on it, because I want the people of the future to be like me. Don't you guys want to be like me when you grow up? Yeah! Wouldn't that be so sick if everyone was like me? If everyone was like me, they would definitely have to stop doing Uber pool again. Can you imagine 4 guys like me in your car that you don't know personally? No way, dude. If everyone was like me, bird flu would still be raging, and everyone would be sucking on pigeon heads trying to get it, because it do turn your dookie white for a day. I just learned this. Did you know that bird's dookie is white is because it's both shit and piss and all comes out of one hole? Isn't that progressive? If everyone was like me, Plan B sales would skyrocket. I take Plan B every morning in case the aliens got to me in my sleep. And if everyone was like me, we would finally get our first based president. He'd be sworn in on a Blu-ray of Antichrist, and the first thing he would do in office would be lower the drinking age to 18. I'm sick of these politicians promising us this just to get elected. I just want to be able to go to a bar with my friends. Is that too much to ask? If everyone was like me, no one would grow up to be a landlord, a terrorist, or worst of all, a teacher. They would all grow up to be the king of high school. Thanks so much for letting me come inspire you guys today.
I made you some K2 cookies if you want one.
Licata! Heard you're talking crap about teachers.
Whatever, no big. I do this all the time, dude.
This is Sparta!
I promise